Assalamu alaikum. This is Inspiring Syed Masroor. I will give very few lessons which I have learned from the book Measure What Matters. This book has been written by John Doerr. He was part of the Google in 1999. He joined Google at a time when it was hardly 1 year old and it has only 40 employees. Today, Google has more than 140,000 employees. John Doerr based this book on the concept, on the tool OKR, objectives and key results. This term OKR was coined by Andy Grove. He was the CEO of Intel. Later, when John Doerr was working with Intel, he took this concept, he worked on it, and initially he has been working with Intel, then he joined Google. When he joined Google, the introduction of OKR was very critical so as to increase the performance of the employees and scale the company. And even today, after so many years, the OKRs are still being implemented in Google. Later, the OKR or objectives and key results were introduced and implemented in Microsoft, LinkedIn, Twitter, Netflix, and other tech giants. I will just discuss a very few critical lessons for the benefit of the viewers so that they could also understand and they can implement in their own respective companies where they are working. What my experience as an HR professional is that the performance management and performance measurement, it has been a critical challenge in the organization. I have yet to come across a system in any company, in any organization, where the performance of the employees is measured properly. First lesson that I learned from this book is that OKRs are collaborative. The OKRs, the objectives and key results for a certain period of time should be set by the supervisees and the supervisors together. They should discuss, they should talk about the main goals and main objectives of the organization for that particular period. And then they should identify that these are the objectives and then these are the key results against those objectives which are supposed to be achieved. OKRs will surely vary from function to function, from department to department. So this is the responsibility of the head of the department, that he or she should work with the team and then together they should create, articulate the OKRs for a certain period of time. When you are setting the OKRs, you should set the measurable outcomes which are quantifiable, which have the capacity to be achieved within a certain period of time. It is how the OKRs could be smart and could be result oriented. Then the focus should be on the feedback, and the feedback should be two-way. It is not only a feedback from the supervisor side, but it should be a feedback from the supervisee side as well. So it is how when both the parties they sit together, the supervisor and the supervisees, head of the department or the team, they talk about their progress, the challenges, difficulties, they find the solution, and it is how they move on with their progress, and then they set a new timeline, a new time period to achieve those OKRs. It is not necessary that OKRs are to be a gospel, those cannot be changed. If after a certain period of time the teams and the head of departments they agree that no, there is a certain adjustment to be made so that OKRs could be more realistic, those OKRs will be achievable, and the teams and the head of the departments they will work together to bring results, to bring outcomes which are going to have an impact on the business of the organization. Another point that should be kept in mind, that it is not important to measure or to review the OKRs after 1 year, after 6 months. The ideal condition will be to set the OKRs for 3 months, means quarterly basis, and then review them on fortnightly basis, on weekly basis, so that if there is any problem, any difficulty, it can be addressed. And if an adjustment is required, that adjustment should be made accordingly. It is advised in this book that keep your aim high, means OKRs should be really ambitious. I have seen in this book that in Google sometimes, or in Intel, John Doerr and his teams and the other people, they were keeping the OKRs very high, very challenging, very ambitious. But ultimately they were able to achieve, because when they kept the OKRs high, then the teams, they were on their toes, they were working together, and they were talking about those OKRs every now and then, regularly in every meeting. There was no stress, no pressure, but they were trying to create a passion. They were trying to create an environment where everybody is working together. It doesn't mean that supervisor has set the OKRs and then the teams, they have been asked to achieve those OKRs. They were all working together. They were putting in their extra effort. They were putting in their extra time so that they could achieve those business results. It is how the companies like Google, from a size of 40 employees, came up to a size where more than 1,40,000 people they are working, if we are talking about as of today. There are chances that OKRs which have been set for a certain period of time are not being achieved. There is a possibility. There could be a failure. The OKRs cannot be achieved. But it doesn't mean that the life is over. There is no need to be frustrated, to be disappointed. But take the failure as an opportunity, learn from it, and then move on, make the readjustments. And it is how you can move forward with this OKRs, and ultimately you will achieve the results which you have kept in your mind. And this is a great lesson in this book. Use OKR as a tool, not as a weapon. Means that use the OKRs to achieve the progress, to create a framework where the people they work together, and then they follow certain guidelines. Ultimately they achieve the results which they have in their mind. It is not there to strictly measure the performance of the people. Don't use it as a weapon to judge the people, because when you will use OKR to judge the people, the real purpose, the real goal of OKRs will be defeated. So use it as a tool only to measure the performance, to measure the results, to review the results, make the adjustments where required, and then move on with achieving more results. Be patient and be persistent, because you will need time and effort to achieve certain results. OKRs for a certain period of time will require patience, will require perseverance, will require passion. It is how the head of the departments, the head of the organization, and the teams, they will work together and they will achieve the goals which they have set for themselves for a certain period of time. And it is how the companies will grow, the organization will grow, and their scalability will be possible. Less is more. This is an important key lesson in this book. The OKRs should not be more than five. 3 to 5 is the right set of OKRs for a certain period of time. If you are going beyond 5, it will be very, very ambitious plan and will be unrealistic. So keep the OKRs between 3 to 5, and then set the key results against each objective. It is how you can manage the results, you can manage the work, you can manage the team, maintain their confidence, maintain their convenience, comfort, and there is no stress, no anxiety. This is very important. When you are setting the OKRs, adopt a bottom-up approach. Involve the team, involve the employees, the supervisees, work together. Ask them how to set the OKRs. What are the objectives which should be set for this function, this particular team, this particular time, and what are the key results? So ask the team, engage them. It is how they will learn together, they will own, and they will pursue those OKRs with concerted effort, and ultimately they will achieve. So these were some of the key lessons that I wanted to share with the HR professionals, with the management professionals, with the team leaders, so that they can pick these simple lessons and they can implement in their day-to-day life in the organization, create a positive culture, engage the team, involve them, and work together so that you could be able to achieve the expectations, the results which the management, which the organization is going to have from your side, because this is very critical. You have to work together. It is how you can make things happen and you could achieve the results which you are trying to pursue and achieve at the end of the day. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. I hope that this video will benefit the professionals, management professionals, HR professionals, and they will take some lessons from it and they will implement in their professional life, in their organizations. If you want to read this book, Measure What Matters, it is worth reading. It will take a bit of time because it is really detail oriented. You will have to be very patient. You will have to be very meticulous going forward with each page, because this is really not very interesting book when we are talking about enjoying the book. But if you are a professional and you want to learn the system and the framework of OKRs and the examples which have been given by the writer, I think you will really enjoy it. Take care of yourself.